if I were precepting you in the ICU, this is something I would teach you on day one of orientation. You are getting a report on your patient in the morning and you're going in and you're taking a look at your patient with the offgoing nurse. The first thing I want you to do is go up to that patient's monitor and check all of their alarms and parameters. They're going to make sure, one, that all of the alarms are turned on because we do not turn alarms off on the monitors. Alarms are meant to alarm you for a reason. They are your second set of eyes and ears when you cannot physically be in the patient's room. The second thing we're going to do is make sure all the parameters are appropriately set for this patient. What I mean by this is, let's say your patient has a blood pressure goal to have a MAP greater than 65. So you go to the patient's blood pressure reading, you click on it, and you check the parameters to see, when is the blood pressure going to alarm me? Now, there are different ways to tweak the parameters on this, but let's say that you have it set to alarm if the patient's MAP drops below 60. That's probably sufficient for this patient, but let's say the nurse prior to you had it set to go off if the patient's MAP was less than 40. We want to double check because patients' conditions can change. Maybe they came to your ICU and had a really, really low blood pressure, so the alarms were constantly going off, and you were trying to, get this patient resuscitated, get their blood pressure up, and now, we're hours into the shift, the patient's blood pressure is more stable. We need to go back and adjust those parameters to make sure that it's going to now alarm for a MAP less than 65, less than 60, rather than a MAP less than 40. Make this part of your routine and a habit whenever you are first going into your patient's rooms in the morning, at night, whenever you're coming onto your shift, because it's going to save your butt.